don't get played. I'm going to talk about some specific strategies on how not to get played at work and how to appropriately advocate so you can get what you want out of your work experience. I'm Ashley. I'm the lead mentor with Mentor Me. And one of the things that frustrates me so much about the world of work is when professional women aren't armed with the strategies, with the insight, with the knowledge to not get bulldozed over at work. Of course, we want employers who see women, who value them, who value their expertise, who see their contributions and will pay them adequately for what they bring to the table. However, we know that every organization, every leader, every supervisor isn't like that. And it's important that you know how to advocate for yourself at work so you don't get played. How to advocate for yourself at work so that you're not left at the mercy of a benevolent supervisor, but you know how to adequately stand up for yourself, say what you want, say what you need, say what you expect, raise your hand when something isn't, going your way or things aren't aligned with your values, and interrupt getting played at work. And when I say getting played, for me, that means being overworked, being underpaid, being undervalued, being dismissed, being discouraged, being disrespected. Any of that happening at work is you getting played. And I want to avoid that at all costs. I want you to know how to advocate for yourself, how to speak up for yourself. I want you to know what you want. I want you to be able to appropriately say what you want. And I want you to get what you want out of work. Work is a two-way street. It's not just your employer doling out assignments and tasks and you just, running at their beck and call. It really needs to be a symbiotic and a reciprocal relationship where you're sharing immense value with the organization and they're compensating you at an appropriate level. And if your work isn't full of reciprocity, that's a problem. That's a challenge. And that's something that I want to help you address. And so I'm going to talk about 3 specific strategies on how to advocate for yourself at work so you don't get played. So strategy number 1, it's really important that you know what you want out of work, right? That you know what you want out of work. So often, in fact, just last week I was talking with a mentee and she's like, hey, Ashley, my mid-year review is coming up. How do I make sure that my organization hears me? I want them to know how I feel about this, and this. I want them to know, that I'm upset about this, and this. I want them to know that I'm frustrated about this and I don't like how they do this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, thank you for asking that question. Thank you for sharing, what you want them to know. I said, but what's like the end game? Like, what's your end game? Like what, as a result of you telling them, giving them a piece of your mind, as a result of you telling them off and telling them what they're not doing and telling them what you want them to do and telling them how things should be better, what do you actually want to happen? And she was like, well, I actually want a raise for all this work that I'm doing. I'm like, well, then let's just ask for the raise, right? Like, we do not need to be unpaid consultants to our employers, telling them all of the things that they're doing wrong, all of the things that they need to do differently, giving them a running list of gaps in performance and things that they should be doing differently if we're not being paid to do that. That's what a consultant is. That's what a auditor is, right? Like that's an outside task. If your job is not a paid consultant to do performance evaluation on the organization, then don't do that. Instead, if you are doing that for free, that's a concern for me, right? I invite you to instead simply ask for what you want, right? If you want a raise or promotion, stop going to your boss and saying, y'all need to do this differently and y'all need to do that differently and I'm doing this differently and I'm doing that differently and this is why I'm performing, this is why y'all not. Just simply ask for the raise. One of the ways that I often see high achieving professional women getting played at work is that you're constantly like picking up the slack of other people. You're constantly like, y'all take that on, y'all take that project on, y'all do that, yeah, I do this, I can help with that. Let me, get on this additional committee, get on this additional work project. And it's like, girl, you are playing yourself. Instead of like asking for or volunteering for more work or asking for more work. Simply outline how the work that you're doing is contributing significantly to the organizational goals and priorities, and that work should be valued and compensated at a higher level, right? And so again, I really just want to invite folks not to sort of sit in a space where you don't know what you want, right? And like, if you want a raise or promotion, ask for that. If you want additional support, right, you ask for the additional administrative assistant or project manager on your team. If you want more release time, more flexibility at work, ask for more flexibility and autonomy. Ask for additional work from home day, right? Make sure you know what you want and you're making the ask based on that. Don't talk in circles. Don't be vague. Don't be unsure. Like, get clear on exactly what it is that you want out of your employment experience and make that specific ask. Again, we're talking about strategies to advocate for yourself at work. And one of the detriments to appropriately advocating for yourself at work is not knowing what you want, not actually clearly asking for what you want. You're kind of talking in circles. You're going around the point. You're kind of doing these, what do you call them? Compliment sandwiches. You're like, well, this isn't working well, but this is working well, but this isn't working well. So, like, don't do that, right? Like, that is a distraction to you getting what you want out of work. I really want to invite you into a higher level of accountability. And that higher level of accountability means asking for knowing what you want, right? And asking for directly that, right? So again, you want to avoid getting played at work. You want to know what you want, right? And I think sometimes, and this is kind of an insider, but a lot of y'all think you want a raise or promotion at work. And really what you want is a new job, right? You're like, I don't make enough money to do this. This organization isn't paying me enough. They're overworking me. They're underpaying me. And in your mind, you're like, oh, I want a raise and promotion. But what you really want is to get out of this organization. You want a new job. You want a new industry. You want to do things a different way in your career. And so I think it's really important to evaluate, do you want a raise or promotion? Do you want to move up in this organization? Or do you want a totally different job, a totally different industry, a totally different pathway for your career? Do you want to move out? Do you want to move up or do you want to move out? And it's important that you can ask yourself some really thoughtful questions so you know the difference, and then you can make a determination on what your best next step would be. Because a lot of you are having really challenging and difficult and frustrating conversations with your employer. And I'm like, girl, you don't need to do all that. You just need to find a new job. Or a lot of y'all are job hopping from job to job to job, when really what you need to do is have a challenging and difficult conversation with your supervisor about your current compensation level, right? And so this is why having a career coach is so valuable. I just posted, what you're missing out on, and the cost of not hiring a career coach. One of the costs of not hiring a career coach is that you don't have clarity on whether you should move up in an organization or you should move out, right? And because you don't have clarity on that, you're just staying stuck. You're like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to stay here. And you're missing out on money, on impact, on serving a larger community because you don't know what your best next step is. Right. And so this is why it's so important to get help in your career. This is why career coaching is so important. This is why the work that I do is what I do, because I help women make intentional and thoughtful and strategic decisions about the best next step in their career so they don't get stuck in decision fatigue or not knowing what the best next step is, right? So number one strategy in not getting played and strategically advocating for yourself at work is knowing what you want. Strategy number two is knowing how what you want is aligned with what they want, right? You are not the only player at the table when it comes to your career development. Your employer, your coworkers, the organizational leaders in your organization, they are all at the table when it comes to making decisions about how you move in the organization and how they move. And a lot of you all are so focused on what you want out of your career development that you're not thinking about how what you want is aligned with the organization wants out of its professionals, right? And one of the things that I teach my mentees, and one of the reasons why my mentees are so successful, is because I'm an expert in helping you get clear on exactly what you want out of your career development and pairing that with what the industry wants, right? They have to be paired. And a lot of you are repeatedly failing in your career development. A lot of you are repeatedly not seeing results out of these job searches that you've been doing for months and years because there's no alignment. There's no alignment with what you want and what you desire and what you're looking for and what employers are looking for, right? And so one of the number one strategy to not get played at work is alignment between what you want, what you value, what you're looking for next in your career, and what the industry wants, what it values, and what it's looking for out of its top paid and highest impact employees. Right? And if there's not alignment there, that's a real problem. If there's not alignment there, you're not going to see success, right? And so, for example, I was just coaching one of my mentees, and she is positioning for about a $15,000 to $20,000 salary increase in her role. Her role has been expanded over the last several years. For her she's also earned another degree in the last several years. For her expertise, for her years of experience, she should be being paid more. And we're working on the offer letter, right? The letter to make the offer, to ask for more money. And one of the things that I've been coaching her through that she did so well is getting really clear on exactly what she's good at and how what she's good at is directly in alignment with organizational priorities, and how not paying her at the level that she desires would disrupt organizational priorities. Thus, they need to pay her at the level that she desires, right? It can't just be, I need to make more money because, inflation, or I need to make more money because now I got to come back in the office and it's more gas money. It can't be, I need to make more money because I've been doing this for years and I got another degree and I got another credential. No, it has to be, I desire and deserve to make more money because I have this level of expertise, and this level of expertise is directly aligned with the organization meeting its goals and its outcomes and its values, and thus I should be earning this amount of money, right? It has to have that alignment. And so often you're not putting that full package together, and that's why you're not seeing results in your job search. That's why you're not getting the raise and promotion. That's why you're stuck in a role that's beneath your skill set, right? And so again, I really want to invite you into career coaching. I really want to invite you to get help in your career so that you don't stay stuck and get played because you don't have the strategies you need to advocate for yourself, right? So we talked about 2 strategies so far. Number 1, getting clear on exactly what you want. Number 2, getting clear on how what you want is aligned with what they want. And strategy number 3 is to be clear, concise, and confident in your ask. Like I said, I was just helping one of my mentees go through a salary ask, to increase her current salary. And she was just so clear, like, I'm requesting a $20,000 salary increase, on my current base salary. I also want, a 5% of the base salary to be reserved for professional development. I also want this, right? We're very clear, very concise, very confident in this ask. It's not like, well, please, if you would consider me, and, I hope that you might think about, and just any little raise would do. No, right? We really want to be clear. We want to be concise. We want to be confident in the ask. We want to put it in writing. We want to email the ask ahead of the meeting. We want to be direct. We want to give our organization an opportunity to say yes to us, and not being clear, not being concise, hemming and hawing, being uncertain is not giving our organization the chance to give us a thoughtful response, right? And one of the things that I love about asking for more money at work is that usually it's a quick yes or no. Usually it's like, yeah, so we can do that, or no, there's no way we're going to do that. And what asking for more money at work, for me and the mentees that I coach, I'm always sharing with them that getting the answer to that question can answer a lot of other questions for you. So if you were, for example, confused about if you should move up or out, right? If you're like, I really like my current job. I really like the community that I serve. I really like the work that we do. I like my coworkers and the environment we do it in. But I just simply don't want to but I just feel like I'm not being paid enough, right? And I want to earn more money, and I'm just not earning enough money here, right? If we ask for that raise and we get a quick, no, we're not doing that, then that makes it clear to us that while we like the environment and we enjoy working there and we value those relationships, they don't value you. And then you can really focus on a job search that's going to pay you at a higher level. You don't have to hem and haw and think about it anymore. You can just simply say, great, I know that they don't value me at the level that I desire. They're not willing to pay me at the level level that I deserve and I can move on. Or if you do get the yes, then you can feel confident that I'm so glad that I advocated for myself, that I'm earning money that's aligned with my expertise, and, you know, I can really feel valued by this organization and continue this good work, right? I think that asking to earn more money at work, given that's aligned with your skill set, is a litmus test to really understanding the value of your expertise and the value, how your expertise is viewed in that organization. And it's just an opportunity for you not to get played. And this is what I want for every high achieving professional woman. Girl, I just don't want you to be getting played. I don't want you to not have the insight, to not have the strategy, to not have the wherewithal, to not understand what's going on, to kind of just be out here like a fish out of water. There are so many of our counterparts, our white male counterparts in particular, that have so much more insight than we have when it comes to the world of work. And because of that insight, and because a lot of the world of work is built out of patriarchy and doesn't serve women and women of color in particular very well, not having that insight is to our detriment. And so I think it's just important that we have that. And knowing doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but knowing ensures that you have the information you need to make your best next step and your best next decision. So let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if this resonated with you. Just type, don't get played in the comment section. Send me a DM and say, hey, Ashley, just help me be more strategic to not make sure that I don't get played. I really want the best for you this year in your career. And yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm serving you at the highest level. So, know what you want, know how what you want is aligned with what they want, and a clear, concise, and confident ask are the 3 strategies to not get played at work. If you want more insight on that, if you want me to review your salary negotiation offer, or, you're advocating for a higher level salary and you want me to review it, if you want to talk about your career development, I'm here to serve you. I'm accepting new mentees right now. So you can go right to my website at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org to schedule a call with me. My calendar is right on my website, right at the top. You can schedule that call, and I look forward to helping you advance your career. Thanks so much for watching. Talk soon. Bye.